morning to one and all. I'm going to discuss about chemical kinetics topic. Chemical kinetics is which is a branch of physical chemistry which can mainly deals with the rate of reaction and factors that will affect on the rate of the reaction. So like concentration, temperature, pressure and a catalyst on the rate of the reaction, how these factors affect is there. So that study is it's a chemical kinetics. In thermodynamics chapter generally that will tells about that whether the feasibility of the reaction. That means whether the reaction is taking place between the two reactants or not, based on the enthalpy of the reaction, based on the energy of that particular reactants, and that feasibility of the reaction information was given in thermodynamics. But to study that how much extent the reaction is going to be completed and what speed the reaction is going to be completed, generally this chemical kinetics chapter we are going to study. In this chemical kinetics, actually there is a kinetics is a word actually which is derived from there is a Greek word kinesis. Kinesis meaning is that there is a movement with respect to a time and there is a movement of the this reactant molecules, right? Now, and in other terms generally this kinetics is a phenomena, time dependent phenomena we can say. In that time dependent phenomena, either it may be a physical phenomena or it may be a chemical phenomena, and depending upon that nature of the reactants, right? So here chemical phenomena we'll discuss under the chemical kinetics, and for what purpose generally this chemical kinetics chapter we are studying means mainly to know that speed of the reaction, to find out the rate of the reaction is another one, and other one is to find out there is a mechanism of the reaction. The mechanism of the reaction in the sense what are the intermediate steps involved between the reactant and product, to find that there is a chemical kinetics chapter we are going to study. And here particularly we have seen already this is in rate of the reaction, or rate of the reaction we can say. In this rate of reaction, the change in the molar concentration of reactants of the product with respect to a time is it's a rate of the reaction, or a rate I can write generally in the short form R, or I can write this is in a dx by dt is a 1, or I can write this is a delta x by it is a delta t is another one. What is mean by this small dx by dt and delta x by delta t? This dx by dt indicating that it is in whenever there is a smaller changes takes place, and whereas a delta x by delta t is there is a large change takes place, we'll use that. And based on this actually rate is going to be further classified into two types are there. One is the instantaneous rate. One is the instantaneous rate. Instantaneous rate is a one, and other one is there is an average rate is a other one. All right. So what is mean by this instantaneous rate and average rate, right? So rate or a rate of the reaction will be the same. Rate and rate of the reaction will give the same meaning. That is a change in the molar concentration of reactant or product with respect to a time, right? So in general we'll write mathematically R equals to dx by dt or delta x by delta t. And this instantaneous rate is nothing but the rate which is measured in a short time interval. The rate which is measured in a short time interval is an instantaneous rate. Generally this instantaneous rate we'll write on this is a rate is equals to this is a dx by it is a dt. So dx by dt is that can be representing that instantaneous rate, whereas an average rate is a rate which is measured in a long time interval. That we can write down as R is equals to this is a delta x divided by it is a delta t is a long time interval and our average rate, right? So this is based on the particularly time we can classify that there is a rates are two types are there. One is the instantaneous rate and other one is the average rate. And even classify the reactions also two types based on this rate, instantaneous reactions and average rate reactions or average reactions. Now here I am taking that so how this concentration of reactants is going to be changed, how the concentration of products is going to be changed. As all we know that yesterday we have seen that in one chemical reaction there is reactants are giving rise to the product, right? In this reactants are giving rise to the product means reactants concentration or a molar concentration is going to be decreases. This molar concentration, which is also known as the active mass, and whereas in the case of product, molar concentration is going to be increases with respect to time. As the reaction proceeds, then the molar concentration of reactants decreases and molar concentration of product is increases, right? So that I'm going to show in the particularly with respective time with the graph, right? Here I'm taking that at a time t0. T0 means initially it's a concentration of reactant I'm taking as a C naught at a particular time t1. That means not a zero time like a 5 minutes or 10 minutes like that you can take. So it's a concentration is a C1 at a time t2. I'm taking that it's a concentration is just C2, right? So generally when we are writing the rate, or either it may be instantaneous rate or average rate, and we'll write down that there is an with respect to this time t naught concentration is a C naught. At a t1 there is an C1 is a concentration. At a t2 there is an C2 is a concentration. If I plot a graph between that, there is an concentration of this concentration of reactants. Concentration of reactants you can take on the y-axis and time you can take on the x-axis. So what happens generally, concentration of reactants initially very high it will be there, and I will get a curve like this now, right? So here at a zero time whatever the concentration it will be there, this is in a C naught. At a zero time the concentration of reactants is a C naught. Suppose if you will take that at a particular time, this is a T1 and this is going to be C1, and this is at a T2, and this is a C2 is a concentration, right? So initially at zero time there is a C naught is a concentration. This C naught concentration here, so generally higher value molar concentration initially some extent we will take, that is having the higher value. As the reaction proceeds, this reactants is going to be consumed and converting into the product. So this is a graph we can write down for the concentration of reactants taking on the y-axis and time is taking on the x-axis. If you will write particularly for the rate law or the differential rate law, and I can write here rate of the reaction is equals to, so generally minus dr by here r is a molar concentration, so that I will write in the square bracket with respect to time, this is a dt. Okay, so this only I can write why this minus sign I was written, why? Because the concentration of the reactants is going to be decreases, and here minus dr by dt with respect to these terms also we can write. So I am taking that like a t1 and t2 is a time interval, so that I am writing this is a c2 minus this is a c1 divided by, here it is a t2 minus this is a t1. Okay, so this is a generally will get that curve minus c2 by, so this is a dr value only, no, so that you can write this is a minus c2 minus c1 by this is a t2 minus t1. Okay, so this difference is generally you will get a negative value, that's why it was written minus of c2 minus c1 by t2 minus t1. Okay, so this is a concentration of reactants versus it's a time graph. In the same way, so we can write there is a concentration of product is taken on the y-axis, and time is taken on the, this is the x-axis. You will get initially molar concentration of product is going to be 0, and that's the reason at a 0 time of the concentration here C naught, that C naught value is equals to 0 here, whereas in the here C naught value is a higher value, that is it has some fixed concentration. but here product point of view, this C naught equals to 0, and I can write, I will get a curve like this small, right? So at a particular time, this is in T1, it's a concentration is C1, and if we take that, this is a particular time T2, it's a concentration is this is it's a C2. If we take that, this is a difference, and this is the difference is delta T, and if we take this difference is particularly this is a delta C or delta X. Generally we'll write a difference in the two concentrations. Okay, right? Now in the same way, for the rate of reaction or differential rate of reaction, RR is equals to plus this is a dP divided by a molar concentration term. Now you can write down in the square bracket, this is divided by dt. So here I can write so concentration initially, this is smaller value, this is higher value, no, so that I can write this is a C2 minus C1 divided by it is a T2 minus it is a T1. Okay, this is a concentration of products versus time graph. This is a concentration of reactants versus time graph. Okay, so as all we know that the concentration of reactants is going to be decreases as the reaction proceeds, as the concentration of product will be increases as the time goes on or reaction proceeds. Average rate, a long time interval more, so directly we can able to find. Whereas the instantaneous rate is if you take a slope of this curve, that slope of curve will give rise to the it's a instantaneous rate, right? If I will take a rate of reaction is on or a rate of reaction is on y-axis and the time is on x-axis, what happens so that the rate is going to be keep on decreasing like this. You will get a curve. This is for a particularly concentration of reactants versus time, concentration of product versus time. This is the overall rate of the reaction. This rate of reaction versus time. At a particular time C1, this is the rate of reaction, the difference versus this time difference. Again this one. In such a way you will get some rate of reaction values. When time also at a different time. If you plot a graph, it's a rate of reaction is decreases as the reaction proceeds or as the time goes on, right? So this is a curve, it is going to be obtained. Here I am taking that one simple example. There is an N2 plus this is O2 gives rise to this is 2NO, right? So N2 plus O2 gives rise to 2NO, and how it is going to be represented in the graph. N2 and O2 are the reactants. No, generally reactants concentration will be, you will take that this is a concentration on y-axis, time is on x-axis. So what happens, this is particularly I am taking N2 and this is O2. So we don't know exactly how much extent concentration we are taking. Based on that, which is having the, suppose N2 having the high concentration, you can start from here. If it is a O2 having the high concentration, you can take O2 up. Depending upon that, whether you are taking the 2 molar or 3 molar, 5 molar or 10 molar like that. So if you take nitrogen 10 molar, this is a 5 molar, you can start like this. So nitrogen, I was drawn that graph first, then oxygen down. Depending upon that concentration, molar concentration of N2 and O2, we can write. Whereas in the case of NO, initially it is 0 and it is going to be like this. This is a graph for the NO. Only one product is a NO, right? So this is a N2 and O2. N2 and O2, how you can able to write? You can write O2. Generally, they have not given the any concentration here, no. So if you write O2 first and N2 down also, that is also a correct one. Okay. So here NO is a product. Taking there is a decomposition of calcium carbonate. Here it is a CaCO3 gives rise to CaO plus here it is a CO2. Okay. So in this here time is taken on the x-axis here, and this is a concentration. In this concentration reactant to only one it will be there. Directly you can write this is for the CaCO3. And what about in the case of this calcium oxide? Calcium oxide is there and carbon dioxide. Both are, it will start from this one only, but we will write depending upon concentration of product. CaO how much concentration is there, CO2 how much concentration is there, and I will take according to that. So which is, suppose I am taking that calcium oxide is more, it will be there. I was taken CaO up and then CO2 down. So that molar concentration terms will decide that one curve which is having the high or low. So that is in a simple decomposition of calcium carbonate. Okay, we have written for this differential rate law for this reaction. Suppose if I will write a differential rate law for this reaction, so here rate of reaction is equals to, so this is minus d of N2 divided by here it is a dt, so that is equals to minus d of here O2 divided by here it is a dt. I can write this is a plus 1 by 2, here it is a d of NO divided by here it is a dt. So differential rate law for this reaction. In the same way, differential rate law for this reaction also you can write, or you may take even one generalized example, that is in a XA plus YB. Here it is a XA plus here YB gives rise to, this is a product is given as a MP plus NQ. Here it is a MP plus here it is a NQ. So for this differential rate of reaction is equals to X is the stoichiometric coefficient that will be, you will write down as a denominator, minus 1 by X, here it is a d of A divided by here it is a dt. Y again minus 1 by Y, here it is a d of B divided by here it is a dt. So in terms of product, if I will write this is a plus 1 by M and this is a d of P divided by here it is a dt, that is equals to plus 1 by N, this is a d of Q divided by here it is a dt. Okay, so this is the one. You can write your units of rate of reaction. Your units of rate of reaction I can write generally, rate of reaction is nothing but dx by here it is a dt, or delta x divided by delta t, depending upon that time interval. Even I can write this is a moles per liter, and this one is dt is nothing but simply I am writing as a time. The time it may be expressed in a second, in or a minute, or like a hour, a day, and even month and year also. And I can write this is simply mole and then liter, and even this one is a time inverse. Okay, so suppose if I will take this is for the simple molar concentration that can be used only for the solutions. If there is a gaseous reactants and products are involved in the reaction, for a gaseous reaction, I can write for gaseous reactions. As all we know that for gaseous reactions you can take even PV is equals to nRT equation, it will be there. Here it is in PV is equals to nRT in states of matter or gaseous state. We have seen PV equals to nRT in that, and P is the pressure and V is the volume, N is the number of moles, and R is simply a constant, and T is the temperature. And even this PV equals to nRT, if I will take V this side, what I will get, this P is equals to, this is a N by V into this is a RT. Okay, so for gaseous reactions what happens generally, this pressure is simply it's like a concentration term, will express it's a concentration in terms of pressure. Alright, so here P is equals to this V, you can take this side N by V into RT, and I can write this is simply a P is equals to this is a CRT. Okay, so if I will take a differentiation in both sides with respect to your time, R and T is a constant at a constant temperature. If this reaction is carried out, R is a simply constant, and concentration of C is a variable, here P is also a variable, so that I can write this is a delta P divided by here it is a delta T, or you can write dP by dt, here it is a delta C divided by this is a delta T, this is a RT is a 1, right? So this is a simple one. You can write delta P by delta T is equals to delta C by delta T. How you got this expression? Based on this one, some problems are there. How you will get, whenever there is a gaseous reactants and products are involved in the reaction, then we will write down this PV is equals to nRT equation. P is equals to N by V RT, P equals to CRT. N by V is simply, we know that it is a concentration term, and if we take with respect to differentiation time, this is a delta P by delta T is equals to delta C by delta T. Generally, gaseous reaction pressure is the main concentration term, and its units we will write down as this is simply, it's the atmosphere pressure. Generally it can be expressed in terms of atmosphere or bar, and here time inverse, which is a common in this one, or you can write even bar and time inverse is another one. Okay, so this is one. Even this moles per liter we can write in terms of it's a gram per liter also, because this mole is nothing but amount of the substance that can be expressed in terms of its a mole, so that I can write here mole per liter, or I can write here gram per liter, or even time inverse also, that is a common, mole per liter or gram per liter, correct?